This is actually a really cool view right here with these shadows and the glare on the water, but unfortunately it's right near a dumpster and people are constantly dropping things into it. So I want to find something a little more remote, maybe out on this little peak here. One thing that's a challenge is this sand here is so white that it's like blinding if you're standing on it. So I think by standing in some of this greenery here, it'll kind of cut down some of the reflection. Even though it's looking straight into the sun, I'm attracted to the glare on the water and the waves. All right, I've got limited battery, so I'm gonna do the best I can. If the battery runs out, we'll take a look at the painting back at the hotel. The wind is picking up. It is howling out here, but I'm gonna try to finish this. It's a 12 by 16. It's hard to see in the distance, but I've got different layers of mountains in the background, and then there's Point Lobos out here, which is a famous painting spot. I'm gonna try to compress everything, so I'm not really working with the scene directly. I like some of the shadows on these plants here. You know, the shadows and the highlights, this sort of warm greens in the foreground. So that'll be this whole portion, and then trying to work a path in. So that's the plan. This is definitely seat of the pants, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so I am using liquid to thin my paint so that I can apply it really quickly. Also, I'm on a painting trip, so it's convenient to have my paints dry like overnight. So I'm just massing in the basic colors. You know, the key to painting quickly, which I'm, trying to do here just because, I had limited battery power, and then also because it was so windy. So I was trying to work quickly. The key to that is having a really solid idea in mind when you start, because then you're not wasting a lot of time solving problems. I mean, you're going to still solve problems, but not as many. So I like this idea of having these, the different layered backgrounds. Obviously the sky, then the mountains in the distance, and the ones closer. The distant mountains were more blue. There was a little bit of green in the closer, that whatever that outcropping bland is. Then I liked having the, this idea of having these plants in the foreground. I painted the lighted area first because I wanted to get the warm greens, and then after I established the warm greens, I came in and started putting the darker part of the plants in. And what I did was I took the mixture I had for the lighter part and I just added ultramarine to it, and a little bit of, I think a little bit of alizarin too, to kind of gray it down. I wanted to have a trail, but I didn't want it to be super obvious in down low, so I thought, all right, well, I'll have the trail in shadow, so I'll use the purple for that, and then add the sand around the purple, and try to create a convincing feeling of light. A little awkward where the trail reaches the beach there. I think I'll mess with that later. Mixing, painting in the water, which also allows me to establish, it gives me an idea of how the white water is going to look, because I've got the areas of the panel that are not painted. So I can use that to, I know the white water or the glare is going to be the brightest spot. The sand in the distance appeared to be almost a purplish color, which is good because it's going to be a nice complement to the glare, which is going to lean towards yellow. So when I put that white, the white glare on the water with the tint of yellow in it, then there's going to be that play of, purple against yellow. At least that's the idea, which would create a feeling of glare or light.
I love your work.
Oh, thank you.
It's so beautiful. It looks so, it's a replica.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like super fast.
Oh my goodness, you're just such a pro because you do it so fast.
Oh, I know. Well, it's like I feel like I'm about to get blown away out here.
Oh no, so you're trying to hurry?
Yeah, but it is really so beautiful, and what a spot, huh?
Yes.
Okay, so do you notice how she said it was a replica? Technically, that's not true. If you had held up a viewfinder, you would not have seen this scene. As usual, I took the elements that I liked and I moved them around to create a composition that was appealing to me and that I felt captured the essence of the scene. So I was after the idea of having the glare in the distance and then, you know, these sort of dark plants in the foreground with sort of a trail leading down to the beach. My battery's about to die, so we'll take it back to the hotel and have a look at it. Okay, so there it is. Super quick. I do really like the brushwork in, you know, this foreground here. Also, too, the little bits of purple suggesting shadows. All right, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. As usual, thanks for hanging out. If you'd like to help support the channel, there's a Patreon link down below. Got a bunch of other videos on my Patreon. Other than that, stay creative, and I'll see you guys in the next video.